Hi, guys. Welcome to my podcast, Patriot. It is a suspense thriller podcast which explores what happens between the terrorist that is captured alive and the police officer that guards the cell. What does the police officer learn about the terrorist? And what happens after that? What is the dark secret? Listen to this podcast to experience this amazing journey. Or it also available as a book on Amazon in print and ebook format. Link in bio. Let us begin with today's episode. By the way, subscribe and like this video to get alerted when new episodes are launched. I don't know where to start. Whenever someone takes the name of my country or national anthem plays anywhere, something happens inside. I feel a sense of belonging. I feel proud that I was born here. I feel safe and comfortable when everyone near me is tied to each other by this one thing: nation. With this inside me, I became a police officer to do something for my nation in my capacity. When I was small, I always wanted to become a scientist and win a Nobel Prize for my country. But soon I realized that is not possible. And then, over the years, I settled for being a police officer. I gave the exam, completed my training, rather in an average manner. Then I joined the police force, got married, and here I am after 25 years, walking back home late at night, getting demoted because I was caught taking bribe. My wife and daughter were waiting for me for dinner. I got freshened up and had my dinner. I was watching television after dinner when my wife came to ask me what to make for tomorrow's tiffin. It is then when I told her that from tomorrow I would be doing night shift because I was demoted. And then we all gathered around for a family meeting. I told them that I was demoted because I was caught taking bribe from a student for passport police verification approval. There was a minor mistake in the educational history of the application, but it was manageable, and these mistakes are common. I was going through the same process for my daughter's master's application. But exactly at that moment, our new boss, who is a very ideal person, came there and caught me. I tried to explain it to him, but only to get demoted. Since I am a middle class police officer, it is not easy for me to afford an international education for my children. I tried applying for a loan, but it was not enough. So it is when I decided I can take little bribes for genuine cases, so that at least my daughter can go abroad for education, and only took bribe in small amounts and only in minor cases. Also, my daughter was working to contribute to the amount, and it was almost completed. But as now I am demoted, she might have to work another 3 to 4 months, and her admission will get delayed by a semester. Everyone was sad at home. Just another month, I had to keep taking bribes, and that would have solved all problems. But now, everything is delayed because of me. Of course, I got a mouthful from my wife, but my daughter really felt guilty and sorry. It was the first time in 25 years such a thing had happened. We all went to bed rather late, but no one was able to sleep. I kept thinking about it a lot, and I was lost to sleep after getting exhausted and did not wake up until late afternoon. I had lunch, watched some TV, and had another nap until it was time for my duty. I got ready, ate my dinner, and silently went to work. No one talked at home today. The day seemed one of the worst, but everyone knew we had to go through it, so energy was a bit low. I reached the station and started looking at the paperwork. Nights are rather dull in the station, too. We have to do rounds around in the area, check on prisoners, and complete paperwork left by the morning shift people. So, unless there is an emergency case, everything is pretty quiet. I had finished some paperwork, and it was time for a round around the area. Me and my partner went out, did some patrolling, had a tea. The air was chill and silent. The hot tea and the cold breeze felt good, calming. We were chatting and enjoying the tea when we suddenly heard a loud noise like something burst. We rushed towards our car and started chasing in the direction. We heard another two such blasts, and soon it was confirmed through radio message. that the railway station was under attack. The attackers and motive was not yet confirmed, but the whole railway station was closed and in chaos in minutes. This is the biggest and busiest station in the country. It is situated inside the heart of my country's biggest city, which produces GDP equal to three small nations. All national level things happen from this city, and the station connects all parts of cities and all parts of the country to this city. Not only is it the primary mode of transport for the average people and a place where people come from around the country, but also it is a huge goods and material transport hub. As the city grew, coal, raw material, food, and even water was provided to the city in some capacity via trains. Most working class people travel via local trains. At any given point, the number of people inside the station complex is in tens of thousands. We reached the main western gate of the station. There were five main entrances for the station and multiple underground pathways, over bridges from all around. We did not know what was happening, just a sea of people running here and there. We were just three people, and we had no clue what to do. We just stood there for a bit, just trying to look at so many people running in so many directions. We gathered around with all other train service officials. We were discussing what was happening is when we heard the voice of our new boss on the radio. All units report the number and position. One by one, we all gave our locations. There were personnel on all gates, but they were not enough. But we got orders not to let anyone go outside the premises. First, we needed to create an open area where we could safely keep the people coming out, then organize the flow of people and start registering everyone that came out and was present there. We looked around and selected the parking lot of the station near the gate, then loudly announced everyone until they listened, showed road to the people, and started gathering them into the parking lot. Police would be needed for surveillance, and we could not take help from civilians, so we decided the station officials would start registering every person and look if they needed any care. As we were clearing and aligning people, the call to all nearest hospitals, doctors, NGOs had already gone. They had also started gathering around, but as it was a terrorist attack, no one could be trusted. So we had to identify everyone, but there was no time. Sometime afterwards, a special task force came, and they just started blending in. They started taking over, as if it is how it is supposed. After all, they were all trained people. I could not see any expression on their faces. I was totally exhausted and terrified, but they just kept on going without even saying anything. And then slowly things started to take shape. It was almost 2 a.m. in the morning, and the people were still coming out. Wounded were taken care of. Everyone was ID'd segregated and questioned if necessary. But we still could hear gunshots, bombings from inside, a fire here and there. The special force, medical teams, and firefighters were ready as soon as the space would clear. Around 2 a.m., the special force started going in. They would signal as soon as they cleared an area. Then they would station some people, and then the medical team, and others would go in. Till then, we are able to identify the location and number of terrorists. Yes, it was confirmed that it was a terrorist attack. One of the mobiles active inside the station was making direct calls via the internet to another country, the rival nation, and their terrorist organization. Through helicopter surveillance and direct support from NASA for satellite imaging, a 12-person team was estimated to be moving around the station, destroying and killing, causing as much damage as they could. But the elimination had to be done on ground because the location and number of people inside and around the station, aerial attacks were ruled out, and we did not know how many people were stuck inside, and we surely could not afford to rebuild the whole station, so it had to be done by a ground team. A team was set up under the leadership of my new boss, and I was included as a backup member. Four sub teams were created that would cover said area, and each team had an equivalent number of backup people ready to deploy. I was in one of the backup teams. The task was to eliminate all terrorists before sunrise. The four teams rushed and started searching one area at a time. The special force was also moving, but they mainly focused on evacuating the station, taking citizens to safety. Every now and then, they would trace the location of any terrorist. The elimination team would go and do their job. It was around 4:30. 8 terrorists were killed. Some backup people were called in. But we observed one thing: the terrorists knew where we were coming from, and they were ready to defend. My new boss does not seem to agree with this. He stopped the operation for a bit and immediately ordered all communication via cell phone, internet to be blocked, and also all radio communication. In case the enemy identifies our location or overpowers us, we had decided some spots in each zone where each team and their backups would gather and decide further strategy as per their conditions individually, and all operations would switch to sub team level with one finish line, 6 a.m., and one point. So all communication channels went down till 6 a.m., and we rushed to the location pre decided. As I was rushing to the location, I would only see shattered walls, broken glasses, destroyed stalls, and just dead people lying around like chickens at a mutton shop without any purpose, without any ID, future or past, just lying there waiting to be disposed of or not. But the only difference, it was not chickens, it was humans. But we had to keep moving, no matter how horrifying it was, and what our mind said, we had to keep going. We reached our location. Sir was ready waiting for us. As per last known location and intel, we have 4 more terrorists to eliminate. And as observed till now, they move in pairs, so we have to take 2. We do not know what other team is planning, but we have to consider that they are not coming and plan if they decide to join us. And one more thing, I need them alive. So here is the plan. Some of us will go first and bait them out, and as soon as they are out, others will attack from behind. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed this episode. Like and share if you did. And please comment on this video for me to learn what you guys think of it. Do subscribe to get a ping when next episode is dropped. This podcast is also available as a book on Amazon in print and ebook format. Link in bio.